So Jaylen had 50, and he saved me from being a sad Celtics fan for last night, as they came back and beat the Magic, hooray. And the dude went really nuts in the fourth quarter and stuff. So, I know there's been a bit of talk about trading Jaylen Brown, splitting up Tatum and Jaylen, and I don't think the majority of NBA fans or Celtics fans believe this, but it's been a conversation, right? Like, I get it. This team needs more playmaking. They could use a lead ball handler and stuff. But I feel like trading Jaylen or Tatum to get that doesn't really make you that much better, you know? The two players I've heard talked about the most are De'Aaron Fox and Ben Simmons. I think Jaylen's just better than De'Aaron Fox. And as far as Ben Simmons, I mean, for one, I feel like if you gave the Sixers Jaylen Brown, you would just be screwing yourselves from ever making a playoff run, because you'd have to run into them eventually. I mean, Jaylen was a lock for the All-Star game last year, and this year he's been beat up by a hamstring injury. Look, Jaylen's not perfect. I mean, he's got about as many career turnovers as he does assists. So yeah, it's been a frustrating season, but I don't want to trade Tatum or Jaylen, so there you go. Now on to Dallas, OKC, where Luka is back. He was gone for a minute. I had a tweet asking if he was still in the NBA, which for some reason got way more engagement than it should have. He had 10 assists against the Thunder. His scoring wasn't super duper there, but it's okay. Dallas won, they'll be alright. Although then again, they just got hit with a bunch of health and safety stuff, as most of the league has. Dallas, to me, is still in this spot where I could picture them going on a run and being scary come playoff time, although I do think they still really need like one other guy who can create a bit besides Jalen Brunson. Josh Giddey can certainly create, as he had a triple-double in this one, the youngest triple-double in NBA history. But I want to start with the threes. I've highlighted Giddey's passing a lot, and we'll get to a few in this one. Josh Giddey hitting a step-back three, that's beautiful. If Josh Giddey ever shoots, I don't know, at least 35% from outside, just throw a parade. Because he's of course awesome at the other stuff, like this bullet skip pass to Aaron Wiggins. This play is awesome. He goes between the legs off the screen, and as Finney-Smith and Dwight Powell are both collapsing to him, that's just such a beautiful bounce pass. And you can just put this play in a museum. He swats away the alley-oop off of the rotation, and then it's a lob to Poku. Let me look at that one more time. He left Dorian Finney-Smith wide open to do this. You know, man, between Giddey, SGA, Lou Dort, the potential of Isaiah Roby or Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, the fact that they'll still have another lottery pick coming this offseason, it's the way to do a rebuild. To keep the rookie show going, Evan Mobley had 24 points. I feel like Mobley would still be the rookie of the year right now. I mean, it's a pretty close race, and obviously I just said that Franz Wagner's in the discussion, but if I had to pick one guy, I think it is still Mobley. I think this is cool how they're finding ways to get him and Jared Allen involved in the same plays, even if it's just kind of like a horn set, even though if Allen came up for a second, so you just get Mobley cut to the rim. Some shades of Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum, if you're almost 30 like me. Everybody knows that Mobley could gain a few pounds to be better in the post, and he still busts out plays like this sometimes. Now this one's just super beautiful. Top of the key. He has a couple dribbles against Miles Turner, crossover into a sidestep thing. When I do the Kevin Garnett comparison, I don't want to sound ridiculous, but it's like, bro. When he's making plays like that, and then here where he's picking up Sabonis in the post, and whether that was a block or whatever it was, it's tough not to think about it a bit. De'Aaron Fox had a whole bunch of free throws in the fourth quarter against Miami, as they snapped Miami's 5-game winning streak. Let's talk about the De'Aaron Fox-Tyrese Halliburton thing. Their touches per game are about the same since Fox came back. Halliburton's assists have still been really high. Obviously, it's not a perfect pairing. I mean, they both want to be pick-and-roll ball handlers. We know that that's when Halliburton's at his best. I've seen Kings fans talk about trading Fox for a wing or more shooting or Ben Simmons or Jaylen Brown, and I mean, I already shot down the Jaylen thing. Of course, I'm just some random dude. I'm not making the decisions here. I've seen people bring up Sabonis. I don't know. I'm not going to try to predict the future on this one. Let's talk about Omer Yurtseven for Miami. A big who they've been going to with Bam out for a while. And I think he's done about as much as they could ask him to do. Jimmy and Bam have missed a good amount of time this season, and yet Miami has held up. And it's because they're so good at just finding guys. I mean, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Yurtseven. Speaking of Caleb Martin, he had 15 points on good efficiency in this game. I feel like Miami just has this superpower where they get dudes who came off the bench for other teams, and they just make them like 15% better. Although in Caleb's case, his efficiency has skyrocketed compared to last year. Last season, he shot about 25% from 3. This year, he's at 35%. This is also a pretty sweet pass from Tyler Hero. It's the same thing I said with the Bulls, which, by the way, that would be a pretty fun series, Heat Bulls. You just got to get there. Everybody can say who the favorites are or whatever, but once you get in the series, anything can happen, as we saw with Miami's bubble run. So hopefully they can just stay healthy.